And welcome back to the Beer Battered Sports Podcast, the podcast created by sports fans for sports fans, because we believe that we're the most qualified people to talk about our favorite teams. I'm your co-host, Isaac.
I'm 40.
And I'm Noam.
Yeah, and before we start, we got some big news, guys. So you may have noticed recently that Kylie hasn't really been on the podcast much, and it's not because we kicked her out as much as we wanted to. The reason is that Kylie has recently started working for Philly Sports Blog. Golf clap for Kylie. She's working on furthering her career and working over at Bell Smashers, kicking ass with the Phillies podcast. So Kylie kind of hasn't really had the time to jump on board with our podcast. It's understandable. So we went and found a replacement. This is Noam. He's going to be joining us full-time going forward. And it looks like we are going to stick with Wednesday afternoons because that's, I think, the best time for all of us. And we appreciate the support of everybody for watching and sticking with us, especially over the last couple of months, as it has been a little bit chaotic here. But we're going to keep churning out episodes. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving episode, guys. And yeah. We're going to be mainly focused today on the NFL, just because there's been a lot going on. But before we do that, we really quickly have to cover this. Congratulations to LeBron James on breaking the 39K barrier in points. Just continues to add to his legacy, and yet he still will never be as good as Jordan. And with that, I'm going to leave the room. Just, leave the room. Just put that out there. Just, hey, I said what I said.
That was comical. I won't even comment. Hey, everybody has their own opinion, man.
I too will not comment.
Kylie, we love you too. Thank you for watching, Kylie. We support you, Kylie. It is awesome that you're over at Philly Sports Blog, and I know you agree with me when I say that Jordan is still better than LeBron.
Just kidding.
Everyone has their own opinion.
Hey, I'm just saying. Legally, I'm contractually obligated to prefer Jordan because my dad almost named me Jordan because he loved MJ so much. So I am legally obligated to say that Jordan is better than LeBron.
I don't think that's how laws work or the truth, but all right.
All right, fair enough. We'll be more in depth in the NBA next week, but today's episode is mainly going to be about football because last episode we got a huge response from you guys due to a certain debate that happened, and we will cover that when it comes up. Oh, Kylie, it's
Thank you.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
She's a Jordan person. She's a Jordan person. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't
know. Isn't she a Jordan person?
Listen, I'll say this: LeBron is easily the best of our lifetimes. That's what I'm going to say, and I still think he is arguably like one of the greatest. I don't think he is the greatest,
arguably,
but I think he is the greatest.
That's a lock.
Hold on. Now we're disrespecting him because now.
Oh wait, I'm not trying to disrespect him.
You're saying that
you shouldn't have said that.
You're saying he's arguably one of the greatest. If it's not Mike, then it's LeBron. So it's not arguably one of the greatest. It's 1 and 2 right there.
LeBron. Yeah, exactly. It's Kobe and LeBron, and maybe Jordan's at 3. Whatever. Like.
Whoa. Okay, look, listen. R.I.P. to the Black Mamba. I love him, but
I'm playing. Kind of playing.
MJ and Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't know. My whole argument has always been that LeBron didn't face the defenses that Jordan faced. But at the same time,
Jordan was having one-on-ones. Jordan had one-on-ones. LeBron had double teams.
Teams had to invent entirely different rules to stop Jordan. All right, the Pistons had to invent an entire different set of rules just to deal with Michael Jordan. I don't think
Warriors team that LeBron beat in the finals would wash any of MJ's best teams.
Do you know that they switched the defensive rules in that time just for Michael Jordan because he was the one that was complaining?
How many times have they done it with LeBron? Hold on, guys. You guys keep this debate going real quick. I got to do one thing.
We're debating with you. We agree.
My banana bread is done. I have to take it out of the oven. Give me 1 second. You guys keep debating.
All right, we'll just talk about how great LeBron is and how.
All right, go ahead. I'll be right back.
All right, yes. All right, so I guess we'll just start. All right, 39,000. It's just another notch on the legacy of the greatest player to ever live. I don't see much debate about that. I mean, it
would never be touched.
Yeah, never.
40,000 in no time.
Yeah, he might end up doubling what Jordan had. Frankly, I don't know. He doesn't seem to be slowing down. He's still really solid.
Yeah, he just had a triple-double the other night. I mean, last night he only had 17, but he has 9 assists to go with it, 7 rebounds to go with it, and it was a blowout. I mean, what can he really do in a blowout? He only shot the ball 6 times and he scored 17 points.
Yeah,
4 for 6, 17 points.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't a blowout, it probably ends with 35 plus.
Probably. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. It's just the fact that he's still doing it at this age alone could be a great argument for it. I mean, if you think about it, that's a lot of the argument that people use for Brady being the greatest player of all time is how long he was doing it on top of the, amount of times he's won the Super Bowl and shit. But
And
with basketball, it's not too different. It's LeBron is doing it. No one has played at this level for this long. It's crazy.
and the thing about it is too, I know football is more physical,
For
but
sure.
I actually think that basketball is a lot harder on your body because you have to think about it. In football, you have a play, and then okay, well, not Tom Brady, obviously, he's not going on the sideline, but other players, you might have a play, you run a deep ball, and then you get put on the sideline after that. So you're getting a breather, you have time to catch your breath, stuff like that. Basketball, you literally could be running back and forth for 7 minutes straight.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's something to that. I don't think necessarily it's I think it's probably works differently on your body, I'd say, because football is a contact sport. But
Yeah.
like you said, you have those breaks and you sub out. I think basketball is more about stamina and everything. You got to like have long last. You got to be in there for a minute. Like LeBron played how many minutes last time? Like he's still like playing like 30 minutes in these games and shit. Like he's doing really good. Like that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of stamina, no one has been doing it this long per game
If they
for
trade
this long in their
Anthony
career.
Davis, if they trade Anthony Davis, they're going to win a ring.
Probably. Yeah, he's. I don't. They
I'll
probably should have done that years ago.
I'll jump back in just to say that I picked the worst absolute timing to get my Thanksgiving thing done. That was my job for Thanksgiving was to make the banana bread for breakfast, and it literally finished as I'm starting the podcast. So
Great going.
that's fun.
Good timing.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
It was a perfect cop out because I know I wasn't going to win that argument. Listen, I'll say this. In all honesty, I do think that LeBron probably is better. I personally like Jordan more. I think that's more of why I'm more in tune to him. But LeBron has surpassed him in every statistical category. And it's really, really hard to argue. It's really hard to argue some of the points I brought up. They're kind of just
I will
meaningless at
say
this point.
it's not. I mean, and a lot of people will bring up the averages, like the career averages and everything like that, and they'll point to Jordans and how they're superior to LeBron's. And for that rebuttal, I'd like to say, sure, yes, maybe Jordan's prime years were better than LeBron's prime year. But if LeBron's prime years are twice as long, if his prime is twice as long as Jordan's was, of course his numbers are going to not be at quite at that level. Like, but
Right.
you have to take the total of it.
So
His prime is
what
twice
age
as
is
long.
it that we're putting prime? Like, when did the prime start? What age are we putting that at?
LeBron, as far as I'm concerned, might as well still be in it, frankly.
Honestly, I don't think LeBron has ever dropped out of his prime.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, what age did we say their prime started?
Well, it depends. Like, it depends on their performance. I wouldn't say
Because LeBron took Ilgauskas, Drew Gooden, Mo Williams, and Delonte West to the NBA Finals at 22 years old.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like LeBron when he entered the league, entered in his prime, and he has stayed in there. Like his entire career is his prime. Like I consider your prime your best years. And Jordan's prime was not his whole career. How long did Jordan play? 12 years, something like that.
He
And that's the thing. Everybody he played 13 years. Everybody
13.
feels like
10 of them were
thinks that he just played 6 years because he's
Yeah.
6 and won the finals.
Yeah.
But let's talk
I'd say
about
10 years. I think he spent 10 years in his prime, and he was phenomenal in those years. Of course.
Yeah.
let's talk about how he was 1-9 before Scottie Pippen got there in the playoffs. LeBron, and then everybody shames LeBron for leaving Cleveland the first time. LeBron had to leave Cleveland. And this is why he had to leave Cleveland. And I hope everybody out there that listens to this podcast really listens to this right now. Like I said, Jordan was 1-9 before Scottie Pippen got there, and that the rest of that team was built around him. LeBron was 22, taking whoever to the NBA Finals. When LeBron left Cleveland, they had the best record in the NBA the year before.
They did.
LeBron was going to continue to win and win and win and win and win. And in this game, it's shown that you need help to win a championship. He was never going to get help to win a championship because you know why? They would never have a top draft pick. You know why they never have a top draft pick? Because the guy was taking his team to the playoffs every year at 22 years old, 23, 24, 25 years old. And then that year that the plan was to stay in Cleveland. The year that he went to Miami, everybody was going to go to Cleveland. Cleveland didn't want to spend the money to bring in Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and all these other people. So LeBron's still like, okay, we're still going to have this same team here. I know I can't win a championship here. Somehow, some way, I can't win a championship here with the pieces I have. So for me to win a championship here, because that's always been the goal, was him to win a championship in Cleveland, I have to leave. And that's why he left. So he left. He won his championships in Miami. He comes back. By the time he comes back, now they want to spend money. They go and get Kevin Love. They drafted Kyrie. They drafted Tristan Thompson. And he goes and wins the championship because he has the pieces around him that he wanted 5 years before that when he first left Cleveland. Like,
not to mention the drama that was going on with the owner and the general manager at the time and everything, and how they were consistently not doing what they needed to. LeBron alone brought you to, literally LeBron alone brought you to the championship. You just need to put anything around him, and they never did. I don't blame them for leaving at all. And I didn't even know anything you just said.
25 straight points against the same Pistons team that beat Kobe Bryant in the finals the year before.
Yeah.
Argument.
We can go ahead and move on though, now, Isaac. I think the point's proven here.
You made your point. Once
he's
best
to ever touch
6 for 6.
Yeah.
Best to ever touch the orange rock.
There you go. So, main focus of today's show, of course, is football. We've got plenty to discuss. We'll start off with our recap of Week 11, and let's cut back to a game that, unfortunately, can best be summed up as can we please stop Thursday night football game? Ravens. 8-3, AFC #1 seed, but it came at a big cost. They lost Mark Andrews, and the Bengals, it came at an even bigger cost as they lost Joe Burrow. Basically has completely changed the outcome of the AFC North. Last week at this point, we were thinking maybe the AFC North, maybe they get all 4 teams in. Now it's like, okay, well, that's not going to happen, especially after this. Noam, as our resident Ravens fan, go ahead. How are you feeling? #1 seed in the AFC.
We'll see. Job's not finished, as someone might say. Job not finished. The Andrews thing obviously really hurts. He was a tremendous asset in the middle of the field, and honestly, he's easily the Ravens' #1 asset for Lamar to target. Like he's the best target. The way he opens up the middle of the field has always been crazy, just because he's very difficult to cover. He's like a mismatch problem, but he's surprisingly quick. He has great hands usually. Yeah, his loss is going to hurt. I am hearing that he might not be gone the whole season. I don't know. I'm hearing like different reports about that. Harbaugh said he was, and that's why that blew up in the news. But then, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. He might be back a little early. Burrow is not. Burrow is done for the year. And I am a Ravens fan, and I have like a special loathing in my heart for Burrow and the Bengals, of course, naturally, but I do feel bad for Joe Burrow. I can't even lie, because this was the year that they were supposed to actually put an offensive line around them. And no, it's been bad. It's been like terrible. It's the same thing. And now he's out for the year again. And I think I don't even know what happened. He was already injured before the game, right? Like he was hiding some kind of injury.
He had been nursing a calf injury, and during the game,
he was untouched.
He either got grazed or got hit by Jadeveon Clowney, and something happened to his wrist, and he didn't get hit. The football.
He didn't get hit by Clowney. Clowney was being guarded by Carmen, or
I think he was being pressured by Clowney when it happened.
He was pressured. He wasn't touched.
Well, the worst part about this is that the Bengals now have to fall back on Jake Browning.
Yeah, they're done.
They're done. And this is exactly, a nightmare scenario for this team. They have lived and died by Joe Burrow. And this season, I think, has been a wake-up call that they're relying on him way too much. To be fair, I knew they were doing that because, when they made their Super Bowl run, it was like, well, they're not going to be able to win it if they don't give him protection.
That's the thing. They almost made football into basketball, where you can win a championship. You can actually just pretty much win a championship, or at least get there without putting any help around your people. They had a great offensive weapons, but they're all in football. You need an offensive line. Your quarterback shouldn't be succeeding without one, because it'll just teach teams that they don't have to protect their quarterback. They don't have to protect their guy.
If anyone ever asked why I was rooting so hard for the Rams in that Super Bowl, it was because, one, the Rams had a lot of people I really wanted to see win a Super Bowl ring, but two, it was like, the Bengals, they can't win because if they win, it's going to put this idea in everyone's head that you can just, you don't have to protect your quarterback. You could just, say, fuck it, do whatever you want. This is the price that they have to pay.
The integrity of the sport.
Yeah, this is the price that they have to pay for their arrogance. And now, they're probably going to completely fall apart. I really don't see them finding any success down the stretch, which is a big shame because the AFC Central has been so stacked. I said Central. That hasn't existed.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
See, this is what happens when you watch old football all the time. You forget that the AFC Central doesn't exist. This, of course, does open the door now for what other teams in the North could take advantage. And as we saw on Sunday, I don't think any of them really are. I think the Ravens basically have this division on lock now because, yeah, the Browns beat the Steelers with a rookie quarterback, but barely. It was a gross game from what I saw, 13-10. The Steelers finally did the right thing and they fired Matt Canada. Finally,
long past, long overdue.
Hey, very long overdue.
When you're getting yelled at by the kicker after games, when Chris Boswell's getting in your face and saying you did nothing to deserve this win, that's a problem. Chris Boswell is so nice. You get him going like that is
whatever.
Yeah,
he's whatever. I'm not gonna give him any compliments. Fuck Chris Boswell.
Oh yeah. The big question, of course, now is like, can the Steelers and Browns keep their momentum going? Because we know the Bengals are going to plummet off a cliff unless they somehow don't, and Jake Browning unlocks his inner Tom Brady.
It would need to be a magical run for them. Like, I mean, they would actually need magic. It's not like Tom Brady, where like, keep in mind where they are, what conference they're in, what division. Yeah. No, it ain't happening.
No, it's not happening. But it does open the question, of course, which other teams in this division still have a chance at this point?
Longest eights on that field, not near one of them. None of them.
Probably not. I mean, the Ravens. The Ravens, as to my knowledge, they've only lost 2 divisional games. They only have one left, that being against the Steelers in the final week of the regular season. Pittsburgh, maybe their offense can finally start to do something good now that Matt Canada's gone. I don't know about the Browns, but with how good their defense is, I mean, they showed on Sunday they could probably still push. They could probably still lug out wins if their defense just keeps them in it, even if their offense is going to be terrible.
They can still do stuff. I mean, Myles Garrett is easily walked away with Defensive Player of the Year, right? Like, that's probably without question.
I don't know, man, because what's his name over on the Cowboys has 4 pick sixes to Ron Bland.
Bro, no.
Bland has looked very great this year.
Because he has 4 pick sixes?
Yeah, 4 pick sixes.
I know that ties the record, but I mean, interceptions by themselves are fluky. Myles Garrett has changed edge rush. I'm a Ravens fan. I'm saying this. Like,
yeah, that's
all right. I guess it's a debate for the off-season episodes, but
maybe. I'll speak really quickly on the Cowboys. I don't know how to gauge the Cowboys because every time they play a really good team, they kind of struggle. But every time they play a bad team like the Panthers, they just ball out. So I don't know how to gauge them at all.
You gauge them as the Cowboys every year.
Yeah, probably for the best.
This is who they are. Oh yeah, they can beat bad teams, but they'll struggle against anyone who can. They need to win a game against one of the best teams in the league for me to actually give them any kind of dues. I know the media's going off about Dak and his performance the last 3 games. Oh my God, they're so good. Yeah, sure, I agree. He has been spectacular. They need to play one of the best teams in the league and not get 40-3 for me to like say, okay, yeah, we have something here.
How much do you guys want to bet that Jerry Jones is paying Skip Bayless to be a fan of the Cowboys?
Nah, I think Skip is a real Cowboys fan.
Maybe.
I think so. I mean, it's Skip.
So, speaking of teams struggling against good teams, the ultimate fluke team, the Miami Dolphins, barely beat the Raiders. I say that because, again, like every time they play it's the same thing as the Cowboys. Every time they play an actually good team, they fall apart. But when they're playing, the dregs of the league, they're the best offense in football. This week, though, was weird because they kind of struggled against the Raiders, which makes me think the Raiders are better than we thought, or because that's the Dolphins' mojo all season is like, play a good team. Oh, no, what happened to our offense? Play a bad team. Oh, it's fine.
I mean, I think the game was just a low-scoring game, and we have been so spoiled with the Dolphins' high offense and putting up big numbers this year that we expected them to put big numbers up on the Raiders. But I wouldn't really say they were moving slow. Tua still had 325. Tyreek Hill still had 146. Like, they did their job. They just didn't put up the points that we're used to them putting up. I mean, Tua did have an interception. I think Tyreek had a fumble. So, I mean, Raheem Mostert still had 87 yards. So they still were a very high-paced offense. They just didn't put the points up that we're used to and we've been spoiled with.
Plus, the Raiders have been playing really good recently, ever since Antonio Pierce took over as head coach. Go ahead.
That is something worth mentioning. Yeah, they've since McDaniel's been gone, and yeah, Antonio Pierce they've rallied under him to an extent, but there's no ceiling for this team. Like they're not. It's extremely low. Like they can't really do much. They're still the Raiders. They are doing better than they were before. The Dolphins should have absolutely destroyed them, and they didn't. Not only that. I'm not. It feels weird to say this because Tua has just been so phenomenal and everything, but the last few games, I mean, he has been putting the ball in danger a lot. Like it hasn't been
he did that
crazy amount of
too, though.
Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been a crazy amount of turnovers for people aren't putting it, but there's been a lot of bad throws, and I don't know, man. Something about Tua doesn't quite. I like what I see, but at the same time, I mean, the ceiling, the flash plays are crazy that you get from him and Tyreek. But I don't know. He doesn't pass the eye test for me necessarily. Like in terms of a deep playoff run as a quarterback, for sure, he's phenomenal. Like I know he's going to be in the MVP conversation most likely. But
yeah. Don't get me started on that. Actually, do get me started on that. So the MVP conversation that actually segue into our next topic. So. Who really is going to win this MVP? Because the more I look at all the players who everyone says are going to be the favorites, just none of them really stand out, except for one. And of course, it's the same one we talked about last week.
Lamar Jackson.
No, Salonius Juniorish Stroud, whatever. What is the CJ stand in his name? CJ Stroud. Let me find this. Coleridge Bernard Stroud the Fourth. There you go. Coleridge Bernard Stroud the Fourth. That's because
I'm just gonna call him CJ.
I feel
like
I'm gonna call him Coleridge.
No, I love it, Isaac, and I agree with you 100%. But they're just not going to give it to a rookie. It's too political. The NFL is way too political.
Well, the only other player that I personally think they should have given it to if it's not Stroud because he's been balling out. I mean. Okay, last week probably not as much. Last week was a little iffy. He 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 3 picks. The Cardinals being the best of the worst teams. That's the whole thing with that. But yeah. CJ, here's my point with CJ Stroud. The only other person that I could theoretically see them give it to who's actually, done something this season worth giving an MVP award to is probably Christian McCaffrey because he's been just scoring nonstop. But they're not going to give it to a running back because the NFL is somehow convinced that it has to go to a quarterback.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Okay, maybe Lamar.
Lamar.
Maybe.
Lamar's been doing crazy good work. And what's crazy is this is not even his ceiling. We've seen him do much better than this. If he goes on a late season stretch and actually turns it up and starts playing on his level, keep in mind, we're putting up 34 points and not necessarily playing well. The Lions game beat them 38-6. We could have put up 54 on them. We're not actually that cohesive, and this is what we're doing to what ESPN ranks the second best team in the league, the Lions.
And to what Noam said, Lamar hasn't even played at his highest ceiling yet. And the reason is because he's trying to be more of a pocket passer and stay more in the pocket. If Lamar wanted to, he could go have 100 rushing yards a game and have 3 touchdowns on the ground. But that's just not what he wants to do. He wants to get his guys involved. He wants to make people feel like, they're a part of their team in the offense. He doesn't want OBJ to be throwing temper tantrums on the sideline and shit like that. So if he really wanted to, though, he can go score 3 touchdowns on the ground every week.
And I think that's why I haven't been paying as close attention to Lamar, because you guys are right. Lamar has the more I think about it, Lamar has been having like an incredible season. I think the reason why I haven't been paying as much attention is because we know what Lamar Jackson is capable of. I think we were all spoiled by that 2019 season, and like that's what we expect to see from MVP from Lamar.
He's gotten better as a passer than he was.
Yeah, he has. It's
As
kind of
a
like
runner, he's not running at the same level he was 2019 for sure, but as a passer, he's way more dynamic. And
you know who it reminds me of?
He still could be better. Like I've seen him do better as a passer than he's doing now. Like he has higher to go. Like, and we're putting up 34 points. Like Lamar's having great games, and he's not being at his best. Like when he starts playing at that level, when we start actually like when things start evening it out and balancing out, and he starts playing at the level that we know he's capable of, and we just win out or something. I don't know. We'll see. But like who are you gonna say then? If not him,
it probably would be him then. I don't know. I think
we'll
I think I've been a little spoiled by CJ Stroud's meteoric rise, but then again,
it's been so good, dude.
I mean,
even
at the same time, you look at some of the I mean, he is throwing a lot of exceptions too. That's the thing. But here's what I was going to say. Last thing. Uh-oh. We just is everyone good? Did we have a technical issue there? I'm good. Are you good? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. My Wi-Fi just cut out for a second. We're back. Okay, good. What's the old saying? It is an episode of Beer Batter Sports. If there isn't at least one technical issue, we haven't had a couple in a few weeks, so that makes sense.
They've been saving
what I was going to say is this. Yeah. Do you know who Lamar is starting to remind me a lot of? Randall Cunningham. Because when Randall Cunningham first broke into the league, he was scrambling all over the place, multi-talented, could attack you at any way he could. But as he got older, he became more of a pocket passer, and that culminated in that 98 Viking season that is so beautiful to watch.
I see your point.
It's not the same It's not the same comparison, but it's kind of you can kind of see it.
I see what you're going with. And I see why you're saying that too. Like, started out as a runner. Yeah, as he's gotten older, he's turned into more of a passer. Yeah, for sure. I think that's what happens generally for everyone. Randall had way more of arm strength than Lamar has. Like Randall had a freaking rocket. Lamar does not. And Lamar is way more accurate than Randall is. That's the difference I see.
Yeah. So I'll quickly go over the more the games we don't really have to talk too much about because they kind of just existed. Jags got back on track with a 20-point beatdown of the Titans.
Yeah.
Classic Jacksonville. Cowboys already mentioned they beat up on the Panthers. The 49ers got back on track. They beat up the Bucks. That's all we're going to say on that game.
You guys ran into a really good team. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. The Rams complete the season sweep of Seattle. Don't know how I feel about that one. That's interesting. Seattle, what's going on?
They're different with Stafford, man.
Yeah. When Stafford's healthy, that Rams team is actually pretty good. Of course they're good. They won a Super Bowl with him. We had two very close come from behind games. The Packers coming from behind to beat the Chargers. And I say this now, if Brandon Staley is not fired by the end of this week or the start of this week, the Chargers have something seriously wrong with them. How many excuses are they going to give this coach and all of his horrible decision-making? How do you lose to the Packers? Which is a statement I never thought I would say in my lifetime because the Packers have never been bad in my lifetime. How do you lose to the Packers like that?
Pathetic.
Unbelievable. Lion came from
behind.
Wait,
hold on, real quick about that. Yeah, Staley needs to go. I have no idea why he's not fired. 100% agree with what you said. Is for the Packers, though, it is worth noting that Jordan Love has actually been playing pretty good football the last few weeks, better than he started out the season with.
He has been terrible.
It's gotten a little better. He's been surprisingly good for considering how bad he started out as. That's all I wanted to say.
By the way, if anything gets a little robot-y on my end, I just switched Wi-Fi's to my 5G Wi-Fi, so just to make sure there wasn't any more technical issues. The Lions came from behind to beat the Bears in Justin Fields' return. Detroit, man, they're finding new and more creative ways to win games. And
It's the Bears, though. Like you
I
should have blown
know,
them out.
yeah, we should mention that though. You almost lost to the Bears. That's a
It was an
problem.
impressive comeback for sure, but why did it get to that point where you need to come back against the Bears?
I
You
have a
can't do
theory.
anything.
I have a theory that a lot of NFL teams tend to play down to their competition against divisional opponents. Um,
That's
or
true.
divisional opponents tend to play up to their competition just because it is a rival. And the Bears and Lions, like, particularly don't like each other, and they haven't liked each other for nearly 100 years. So it makes sense. But at the same time, it's Justin Fields and the Bears, man. Like, come on, Dan,
It's
get your
that offensive line in the Bears, more like.
yeah, like Bears, Lions, get your shit together. You guys are about to be on national TV on Thanksgiving in a positive light for the first time in 2 decades. Do something. Do something.
Yeah.
All right. Before we talk about the 2 primetime games, we got to bring something back from last week's episode. Last week, we had probably one of the best discussions ever here about Sam Howell and Josh Allen. Well, this week's results, Josh Allen and the Bills dismantled the Jets so badly that they have decided that Tim Boyle is a better option at quarterback than Zach Wilson. And they've even decided that Aaron Rodgers is going to come back early against Washington on Christmas Eve, which
so
makes
stupid.
no sense. And I want him investigated for
So
tampering
stupid.
in illegal substances because there's no way he's coming back on a
Why
torn
would they?
Achilles.
Why would they even bother to rush him back, bro? Like
It makes-
honestly, what are they doing?
I
I don't
don't
think
know.
I don't think he really tore his Achilles in week 1. I think shit is all scripted.
It's got to be if he's coming back from it.
A fluke, because how do you come back from that in the same year?
No,
He
it
came back
doesn't
from a
happen.
broken collarbone, and that was more realistic. But that was still stupid when he came back.
Well, it's not an ACL or anything like it, but it is. He didn't tear his Achilles though. Like what are you? Like,
Wasn't there a Rams running back who came back from a torn Achilles in the same year?
I don't know.
Yeah. What's his name? The Rams running back the year they won the Super Bowl. He tore his Achilles in the same year and came back from it, but he had torn it at the beginning of the year.
You're talking about Isaac Bruce.
No, not Isaac Bruce. This was the second Rams Super Bowl one, the Los Angeles Rams. Who was it? It was
Akers. Cam Akers.
Cam Akers. Yeah, Cam Akers tore his Achilles and came back the same year.
Yeah, but he didn't come back till the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that
this would be way earlier.
Yeah, which I don't think.
And didn't he tear in preseason or something?
I think he tore it in preseason.
Oh no, it was week 1. It was week 1.
Yeah. But anyway,
let's get back to what you're saying.
So Josh Allen finished the game. And again, remember, this is against the Jets. And I will say, the Jets, even though their offense is booty, I mean, Zach Wilson went 7 of 15 for 81 yards, 1 pick, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Even though the Jets' offense is booty, their defense is actually pretty solid. It's one of the main reasons.
Solid. It's one of the best in the leagues.
Yeah,
it just doesn't matter because their offense is fucking
holy crap!
garbage.
6 comments. What the? Oh, okay. Well,
ignore them.
Yeah, that's a troll. Okay, don't look at the comments, guys. We got a troll. It's nice to see that this podcast has gotten big enough that we've got trolls in the comments now. That's great. Josh Allen, meanwhile, went 20 of 32 for 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Now, that 1 pick, I mean, that's going to be our Josh Allen dumbass interception of the week.
46.2 QBR rating. Mention that as well.
46.2 QBR rating.
I'm not going to pretend Josh Allen's performance changed my opinion of him.
Now, on the flip side, Sam Howell went 31 of 45 for 255 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions as the Commanders got beaten by the Giants in Washington, 31-19. The Commanders defense allowed
QBR rating, still higher QBR with the 3 interceptions.
How? Also, quick shout out to Tommy DeVito throwing 3 touchdowns. That one was for Jersey.
Yeah, how are you gonna let Tommy DeVito do that to you? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Look, before
that defense is questions, bro.
Before I even get into the Josh Allen, Sam Howell, Washington's a poverty franchise. They're absolutely disgraceful. But
yeah, no, completely.
I'm not gonna say who the source is, and I'm not gonna say how I know this person who knows the source. But inside the locker room, Washington is not serious. All the players aren't locked in. All the players aren't on the same page. You got selfish players. You got players that, they're blinking when it's not time to blink. Like when it's time to lock in, you're not supposed to blink, and there's people that are blinking, and there's just people that don't care. They're like, whatever. We got another week, blah blah blah. So
What are you referring to?
the Washington's not serious. They're ass. When I found this information out, it told me that I should bet against Washington every single week
Damn.
because they don't have anybody that's serious in the locker room. The source said there's about 6 to 7 players that are actually really serious in that locker room.
That's
Everybody else
crazy.
on a fuck it mentality.
I mean, that Washington's a poverty franchise. Then I mean,
you can see it when
they've
play.
given them nothing.
You can tell like that they're not locked in.
Do you think? I want to get your opinion on this. Do you think that trading both the starting edge rushers had contributed to them just kind of thinking, okay, the season's lost, we don't care. Our coach is going to get fired at the end of the year for sure, anyways. We're not playing for anything. You think that contributes to the mentality you just described?
Well, this is the funny thing too. What's going around in the locker room? This is also from that same source.
Mm-hmm.
This source is a player, by the way.
Yeah.
Rivera would have been fired after Sunday if we didn't have a game on Thursday. We get blown out tomorrow, he's gone in the morning before he can even step back on that flight back to Washington.
Who's going to step up?
That's not
the enemy. I'm so stupid. Why did I even ask? Never mind.
Probably
the enemy. The enemy. They'll give him like 6 games, whatever's left to kind of cement his place in, and then next year start strong from the offseason onward and give him a stronger head start to go with. Smart.
Yeah. So Washington's not serious, but to the Sam Howell and Josh Allen thing, the performance last week from those two doesn't change my opinion either. Like Noam said, how it's not going to change his opinion. It doesn't change my opinion. I still think that they're the same, if not actually it does change my opinion a little bit because I said last week Sam Howell was better than Josh Allen. They're the same player, to be honest. They're the same goddamn player. Like they're literally the same player.
I think my opinion has remained the same. I think Josh Allen is a much better quarterback than Sam Howell. And by much better, I mean the caveat being Josh Allen will not get any better than he is. He will only get worse because this flaw will apparently never go away. Meanwhile, Sam Howell is young, and a lot of these mistakes that he makes are young quarterback mistakes, which he will learn and grow out of. So my opinion hasn't changed. I think Allen's a better quarterback, but I think Howell could be the better quarterback in 3 years or so, depending on how things go. I don't know. If the locker rooms as you describe, I mean, what's the point? And is he really just going to come out there and just play his ass off every game and try to play hero ball every single play and just?
He definitely has the potential. You can see the potential. I mean, this Commanders team this year, as bad as they've looked at points, they've also had games where they've taken the Eagles down to the limit.
Those 2 Eagles games you can circle though. I think as like they're the pinnacle of Washington.
Tomorrow they will be beat 37-3.
I don't know, man. They usually every so often they do something special on Thanksgiving. I'm just saying.
I feel like they're gonna come out with some juice against the boys. I feel like they're gonna come out and be like, it's Dallas week.
I feel like that's a good.
We're not gonna roll over for them.
I feel like that's a good segue.
Damn, the Washington fan made that sound. All right,
dude,
maybe they will.
When you got a fan of your own team giving up, and when you have a fan of your own team giving up, it's bad.
That's why I have Lamar jersey and Lamar memorabilia around my house.
Hey man, you're always welcome in the flock.
Hey, is it true that Ravens fans yell "flock, flock, 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 flock" during games?
I don't know.
Because my brother swears that, and he's only been a Ravens fan recently.
I'm sure they've done it at some point. I don't know if it's tradition.
I'm going to Ravens Miami December 31st.
Let us know then. Let us know if that's our version of who dat or whatever.
According to my brother, who was on site for the game against the Browns 2 weeks ago, Ravens fans talk more trash than Eagles fans, which that surprises me.
Because the Ravens are actually a good team.
Speaking of the Eagles, real quick, I'm just going to shout these guys out real quick. Not the Eagles, but because I forgot to mention this game. Shout out to the Broncos for winning. What is it now? They've won 5 straight.
They beat Minnesota. They beat an incredible defense.
Yeah. They are looking like they're finally figuring it out. I hate that it's with Sean Payton, and I hate that man with every inch of my body because he's connected to a certain franchise that needs to go away.
They're just not as bad as they've been.
Yeah.
We'll see. They're not good yet.
Yeah, I mean, listen. They pulled off 2 really big upsets over teams that should have beaten them.
Yeah.
If they keep it up, maybe. I
Maybe.
still don't like that they are being coached by Sean Payton, and the suspensions for Bountygate weren't enough.
Oh my God!
I need bad things to happen to the Saints.
Every fucking time.
I need bad things to happen to Jonathan Vilma. Anyway, the final game of the week, of course, was the Super Bowl rematch: Eagles-Chiefs Monday Night Football, pouring rain, and I'm just gonna say this: Marquez Valdez-Scantling can kiss my ass, dropping a game-winning touchdown pass. The Chiefs
Guaranteed Aaron Rodgers was punching the air when he saw that. He's just like,
Aaron.
that's how it feels, my homie. Whoa! Like,
I mean,
That's just pitiful. I mean, the dude could have slid into the end zone if he wanted to. Like,
the Chiefs defense
the
played so
rain,
well.
But the rain 40.
The Chiefs defense played so well in that game. They played so well of keeping the Eagles in check. And yeah, they did allow 2 late touchdowns.
you are an NFL receiver. I don't want to hear about rain.
Eagles were fine
You
with
are
it.
at the top level of the sport. You want to talk about rain? Mahomes put that bitch on a dot. Excuse my language, but come on.
He did. He did. And he dropped it. And the worst thing about it is, like, this is
So many
arguably
drops.
the weakest receiver core that Mahomes has ever had to deal with. Kelsey is the only reliable target out there. Kelsey and Pacheco are the only reliable. Yeah, he dropped. Kelsey and Pacheco are the only reliable pieces on that Chiefs offense right now, alongside Mahomes. That's the issue. They're being carried. I can't believe
I like Rasheed Rice.
Rasheed Rice is getting nice. Unintentional rhyming.
Getting nice.
Yeah, he is. He is. But the other threats, and Kadarius Toney. I mean, Kadarius Toney's punt returns are a work of art. Like, he is. He's like, I'm prime Dante Hall in this bitch.
You really have to Cordarrelle Patterson him. He can't catch at all.
He literally can't catch a cold if you smack him in the face.
Nope.
Yeah, and it's an issue. It's going to be even more of an issue because we saw in this game, once the Eagles figured out the Chiefs' defense and were able to get those 2 touchdowns, Kansas City could not respond. And that is going to be the biggest weakness for the Chiefs going into the playoffs. Because if you haven't noticed, the AFC has gotten a little top heavy again.
Well, that is why I say Baltimore is the best team in the AFC, because I've looked at every team now. I've seen every team now. We're going into week 12, so we can have a great feel about teams now at this point. Chiefs don't have a good enough receiving core. The Dolphins don't know how to win against a good team.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, who else is in the AFC that's really gonna give?
Cleveland has a good defense, but their offense is shit.
Cleveland has a good defense, but I mean,
same with Pittsburgh.
Baltimore put up 30 points against that good defense.
It's true. Buffalo has Josh Allen.
Buffalo, that wasn't even a factor in my.
Is Buffalo a good team now?
I don't know if they are. No one knows what Jacksonville and Houston really are. So
we'll see for them.
None of those teams are running with Lamar. As long as 8's on the field, this is his Super Bowl year. I'm telling you, this is Super Bowl year.
There was an AI that predicted each Super Bowl coming up, and they said the Ravens would get there next year. But I don't know. Maybe
they can get there this year too.
Maybe they were a year off. Maybe they were a year off.
This is their Super Bowl year, and let's just say it right now. This is the year they win the Super Bowl, and you know why?
Chill, man. Chill.
Whoa. Start knocking on wood there, buddy.
No. There's no wood to be knocked on. The man is 17-1 against NFC teams.
Who did he lose to?
True. Who did he lose to?
I will. I want to say Green Bay. I want to say
no.
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Dallas. The COVID game. We had 22 out. We had 22 members out in COVID. Lost to Dallas, I think.
It might have been.
Nope. They beat Dallas.
Even worse, the fucking Giants. 24.
What year was that? Last year?
Last year, yep.
Injuries.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. I remember that game. Yeah.
Still. The man's 17-1 against the NFC. He should be 18-0.
That is foul.
That's crazy. Well, you got a point there. I mean, I do think this. Like, you look at the teams that are the best in the league right now. Like the Eagles are the best team in the league. I think the Ravens would wash them. I think the Ravens would wash the Cowboys.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I've seen Sam Howell take the Eagles to overtime. I've seen Sam Howell put up 31 points against the Eagles. If Sam Howell's doing that, Lamar Jackson can put up 50 against the Eagles if they don't come out to play defense.
Yeah, man. There's a couple things about that Chiefs Eagles matchup that was crazy. I mean, I did take the Eagles to win last week, but I was a little surprised that they did in a way. Like it was kind of fluky the win. Like they had 7 drops. The Chiefs outplayed the Eagles, I think, pretty handily. That one pick that Hurts threw to, I think, was it LJ to L'Jarius Sneed?
Yep.
I think it was Sneed, and then it was ruled down. But the way AJ Brown just walked up to him and mugged him and just took the ball back, it's gonna live in my head rent free. Just because of AJ Brown's physicality as a player, I can love that man. It's crazy good, man. I just wanted to shout that out and then bring it back to the fact that there's the Eagles. They were talking. ESPN was saying, how can they keep winning ugly? They can keep winning ugly, but does it mean their team is as good as their record is? No. They're not. They're not. They do seem a little fraudulent.
So, as much as I'd like to continue this conversation, we do need to start getting ready to wrap up the show because your boys got to head to work.
All right.
So, let's get our game picks out of the way.
Real quick.
So, Thanksgiving week, of course. We got 3 games on Thanksgiving. They actually look like good games. And it kicks off with the Packers visiting the Lions. Who you guys got?
Lions will take care of business, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions.
I think the Packers keep it a little closer than people expect, but the Lions should win. That being said, the Lions should probably still win by more than 2 scores.
The Lions definitely are. The Packers definitely are going to keep it close, but Lions will get the job done. Then our after our appetizer, our main course is Commies and Cowboys. Who we got here?
Say it.
I'm going Cowboys.
The defeat in your voice, Calvin. I feel you. I understand.
That hurts. That hurts to hear from you.
I think Washington might make this uncomfortably close for Dallas.
After what he just said, I can't have any faith in them. I can't have any.
At the same time, Dallas is going to win.
What do you say? You said the Cowboys going to win by 30. Cowboys might win by 40. Ugh. That's so disappointing. 37-3, is that what you said? Ugh. Yeah, they might.
Shame on the NFL for Shame on the NFL for making this like.
Why do you trade both your starting edge rushers? Of course, your secondary is going to be in trouble. Like, ugh.
Our dessert for Thanksgiving is going to be Niners Seahawks battle for first place in the NFC West.
Good ass game right there.
It is. The Seahawks have kind of been iffy the last couple of weeks, but I still think that they're going to play the Niners tough. I think San Francisco wins, but I think this game is going to be really close.
Yeah, San Francisco's defenses look good since the addition of Chase Young. I'm going to go ahead and put San Fran down for my winner.
Me as well.
Black Friday, the NFL's first ever Black Friday game, sees the Dolphins visiting the Meadowlands to take on the Jets. Who authorized this? This is what happens when Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. Dolphins by 30.
Yeah.
Dolphins by 20 because Tua puts the ball in harm's way and Jets have a great defense, but the Jets will not score a point. It'll be 20-0.
Okay. That's realistic.
I actually, I believe that 20-0 sounds like a great.
Yeah. Well, they're starting Tim Boyle as quarterback. He
might be responsible for 14 of the Dolphins' points.
Yeah. Sunday's early games kick off with another AFC North game. Steelers-Bengals. Pittsburgh beginning life without Matt Canada. Cincinnati beginning life without Joe Burrow. Give me Pittsburgh to pull the upset here.
Is it an upset if Joe Burrow's out? Who's favored to win by Vegas?
The Steelers are. No, it's not an upset. The Steelers are favored. Steelers.
Of course they are. Yeah, Steelers.
40? What do you got?
What is he doing?
Oh, no!
I think the Bengals find a way to sneak this one out, man. I'm going to go
back. Jake Browning? No!
I think this might be the trap game of the week here.
Stop him.
What is this man thinking?
What is he thinking?
You know what, though? We do need a trap game.
Actually,
defend that.
The Bengals don't have a good enough defense, to be honest. So, I take it back.
Joe Burrow could kind of move around behind there. I mean, maybe Browning can too, but T.J. Watt against this line.
Boy,
Yeah, give me the Steelers. I lied. Give me the Steelers.
Yes.
All right. Now this right here is what I think.
I was gonna say 40, bro.
This is my pick for the game of the week. AFC South championship game of the way, because these two teams are basically locked to either win this division or finish second. Jags at Texans. Whoever wins this is basically going to win the AFC South.
I'm going to be honest. I got to go Houston because I won't forget it. The Jags are what fucked my parlay the last time they played Houston. They were the last leg on the parlay. Jaguars money line, and Houston beat them.
Yeah, they didn't just beat them; they blew them out too.
Yeah,
give me Houston to get the sweep and win this division. Houston. I want the chaos. I want CJ Stroud MVP season.
Jacksonville's doing some exciting things. I do think they're a better team than the Texans. I still think the Texans are going to win. I'm going to take them as well.
All right. I'm not curious.
Actually, no. Give me Jacksonville.
The odds makers are taking Jacksonville.
Give me Jacksonville.
All right. Bucks Colts. As much as I hate to do this, I'm actually going to pick my team for once. I think that Indianapolis isn't consistent enough for my liking. Tampa Bay is neither is Tampa Bay, but let Baker bake.
What does that mean? Let Baker bake, so let him put up like 17 points a game or something like that. Like 15,
that's all we need.
17,
that's
like,
all we need. That's all
maybe
we need.
Their defense is good, so I don't know. To me, the Colts are a better team. I'm gonna take the Colts.
Shout out Levante David, by the way, by becoming the second all-time in tackles for the Bucks, behind only Derek Brooks.
Yeah, Levante David's a tremendous player. Should probably be. I think he should get a gold jacket at the end of his career, honestly, but he won't.
I hope he does.
He won't.
God damn it, he's questionable.
Bucks. I mean, Colts just lost Shaquille Leonard. That's hurtful in the middle of that defense.
Yeah. They cut him.
Yeah. So that's hurtful in the middle of that defense. I don't care what drama they had going on. It's going to be hard to find a replacement with that guy there because he's a baller. So give me the Bucks because I think Rachaad White will probably rush for 100 yards this week.
I hope so. Well, the Bucks never run the ball, but I hope they do. Saints Falcons, old classic Deep South rivalry game. I'm going to take. What did you say?
I'm going to be honest. I have to take the Saints. Taylor Heineke just hasn't shown me enough.
Yeah.
He's not starting. Desmond Ridder started.
Oh, that's
exactly.
Yeah.
If the Falcons are gonna come away with this division, they need to start showing something, and they're not. This could go either way. I'm gonna take the Saints, though. I think the Saints are better by a little bit.
I really hate to do this, but I'm gonna take that team in black and gold.
Watch the Falcons prove us wrong. Who knows?
I really hope they prove us wrong. You guys think Dan Campbell sits at night and thinks about how he was on the 09 Saints and how he hates that he was on the 09 Saints? I hope he thinks about that.
I think
really
you think
do.
about that. I'm confident that you think about that. But
I'm sorry. I was watching Secret Bases Vikings doc today, and it was the episode where they talked about the 09 team, and it's just like, I need bad things to happen to the 09 Saints, okay?
The Favre Kings.
The Favre. It should have been Favre and Manning. Okay.
That'd been dope.
I mean, well, Brett Favre nowadays, it's like, but back in the day, it's like, Brett Favre, Vikings, all right.
That was my dude, man. I loved Brett Favre.
The Brett Favre Viking year was so much fun, and then it got ended because the Saints decided, hey, let's see what happens if one body hits a human body, like down on the ankles, while the other hits him in the spleen at the same time, and will that rip him in half? I don't know. Scott Fajita, Jonathan Villamy, you want to try that?
Do you remember when Favre threw that block on Patrick Willis? Like he ran down the field he was like in his own end zone. He threw it like to the middle of the field, and I think he hit was it Musi Muhammad maybe? I don't know. He hit someone. He made someone miss, and he run down. And Favre, from the moment he threw it, just bolts down the field on his like 40-year-old legs and throws like a cut block. Yeah, have you not seen this? You guys got to look that shit up. It's the funniest thing ever. It's honestly amazing. I think he cuts Patrick Willis. Patrick Willis is just like, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? Excuse me.
Next up, we got Patriots Giants. Remember when games between these two teams were fun? Remember they fought for Super Bowls?
A ghost from another lifetime, bro.
I'm gonna actually take the Giants to win this. I believe in Tommy DeVito, and the Patriots are hot ass.
Who's the Patriots starter?
At the moment, it might be Bailey Zappi.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that's a trap. I think they want us to go with the Giants. I'm gonna go with the Patriots on this one. I just don't see them losing like 4 straight or whatever it would be if they lost.
To me, these two teams are both fighting to unseat the Panthers as the worst team in the league. They are both such garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know who to pick. Genuinely, I'll go Patriots, but I feel like the Giants are going to win. Like Dexter Lawrence has been having an incredible year. Like I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. Yeah.
The good news is that this game has not been flexed onto prime time. Speaking of the Panthers, they are in Tennessee. They're taking on the Titans. Last time these two teams played, Titans are going to win. But last time these two teams played in Tennessee, by the way, was 2015. That was the infamous Cam Newton dab game where he dabbed in the end zone after scoring a touchdown, and the entire Titans defense took that personally, and so they decided let's start a bench clearing brawl over that.
Oh, they're both bad though. Both these teams sucks.
Titans
those
are
the 4 worst teams in the league, in my opinion. By the way, Giants, Patriots, Titans, Panthers. Yuck.
Panthers' loss, I think, will eliminate them from playoff contention because we're at that point in the season where
they're 1-9.
Yeah. Right. Like,
God, what is the NFC South? Oh my goodness. 1-9 team is still in it at this point. They could.
The NFC South
could take that division.
The NFC South is a horrible experiment. That's what it is.
They're 1-9.
Yeah.
They're still in it. All right. So you're telling me there's a chance? Fuck it, Panthers, bro. Panthers will win this game.
That is insane.
I'm pulling for this now. What are we? We're in week 12. We're in week 12. They're 1-9. What? What? Oh, that's crazy, bro. Panthers all day, baby. This Panther season starts now. The season starts now, guys.
Oh my God.
Panthers actually could beat Tennessee. I'm not gonna lie.
They could be.
I think that Bryce Young is a little better than Will Levis.
I think so too.
I don't know where Derrick Henry has been for the last 3 weeks, so I'm actually gonna go Panthers on this one.
Yes,
that's crazy.
I convinced 40.
Crazy. They are clearly tanking. They are terrible.
No, I disagree. The season starts now. Hey, you know what? Hear me out. Every NFC South team sucks. If they just keep shooting themselves in the foot, and they might, the Panthers, they could win the division. Whatever.
They've done it before when they've been shit, and I hated it.
Oh, they probably can't win the division.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. They lose every game.
Late games, we got Rams at Cardinals. Stafford's playing. Go Rams.
Yeah, Rams. Nothing really to talk about there.
Browns Broncos. Will Russell Wilson's winning streak continue against Cleveland's number 1 ranked defense?
No.
I actually think the Browns sneak away with this one.
I think Cleveland gets a sneaky win too. They could pull that shit all season.
Is it sneaky? Even with Deshaun out, I imagine they're still favored. I bet I'm going to take the Browns for sure. Although I hope they lose.
They are barely favored over the Broncos.
Yeah, I hope come on, Russ. Danger Russ, bro.
Yeah.
Cook.
All right, Chiefs Raiders, big classic old AFC West rivalry game. Raiders have kind of looked hot with Antonio Pierce, but give me the Chiefs to win this one.
Yeah, Chiefs are going to put up 30 plus this week somehow, some way.
I hope they do.
They're going to be really pissed off about the way they lost. And
somehow, some way,
it's a really easy target.
The big game, the big late game of the week, Bills-Eagles. Eagles are pulling out the Kelly Green, so all right. Josh Allen's going to throw a lot of dumbass interceptions at this one.
Hey, as much as I hate that team in my division, I hate that guy even worse, so I'm going with the Eagles.
Do the right thing. Do the right thing.
They're so fraudulent.
They are fraudulent. I agree.
They're not 9-1.
But he's so ass, bro. He's gonna throw 3 dumbass interceptions this week.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure he will. He might even mistake Darius Slay for grass or something. Be like, all right, threw it. It was green. It looked like turf.
I don't know. Expecting that.
It's possible. I mean, is Phillies? Oh man, the rest of the Bills are sort of okay. I mean, Allen's kind of holding them back. Bills defense, we got. Yeah, I can't give it to them. Eagles are going to win. Eagles are still just a much better team, even if Allen plays his best football, I still think the Eagles probably have too much going for them.
Sunday Night Football in LA, Ravens Chargers. I think we all know who we're picking.
Oh, the Ravens better win. Oh my God.
Say the line, 40. Say the line, 40.
Say. As long as eight's on that field, that's all I need.
I love 40. I love 40, bro.
We're wrapping it up with Monday Night Football, Bears, Vikings. Man, just get the Vikings put a 7 in the win column for the Vikings already. Who the hell scheduled this as Monday Night Football?
I think the teams are a little closer than you might expect from the records. Bears being 3-8, just because. But yeah, the Vikings should take care of business here.
I think we're gonna see a crazy quarterback rushing duo this week.
That'd be
Josh
interesting.
Dobbs can run.
Yeah,
he
Josh
really can run.
I think both of them have over 70 yards rushing for some reason this week. But still, give me the Vikings.
Yeah.
And with that, thank you guys so much for watching today's episode of the Beer Batter Sports Podcast. This podcast, as always, is brought to you by the Fired Up Sports Network, which we are a proud affiliate at. Go check all the other shows they have. You can go check our Twitter bio for merch. Check it out. You can get yourselves one of these Beer Batter Sports hoodies and follow us on all of our socials at @bbsports_pod. With that being said, have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We will see you next week. And peace.